And welcome back to Weekend on Wheels, and I'm Girish, and today I'm going to review my car which is about 9 years old, the Nissan Micra. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, consider subscribing. Hit the subscription button and also hit the bell icon to make sure you get an update on every video I upload. And today it's about Nissan Micra. Like I mentioned, it's about 9-year-old. I have done about 90,000 kilometers on this, and this has been one of the best by so far for me in terms of a car, and there are multiple reasons for this. Initially, when I were to pick a car, this was 2010. Yes, 2010 August. Wasn't too sure which one to pick, and the most hottest car during that time were two options. One was Volkswagen Polo and the other was Nissan Micra. And for whatever reason, I don't know, I just fell in love with the entire design of this car. And then I went ahead and took a test drive, and I fell in love with this. So when I took the test drive, there was no diesel variant of this car. There was only one petrol variant, and in petrol variant they had three different series in terms of the basic model, mid variant, and the top end. So I bought the mid variant. The top end had a few extra features like climate control and then a defogger and very little bit of thing. So I went ahead with the middle variant, and then it was so surprising when it came to service. My first service, I was shocked. I owned a Maruti 800 before this, and I was expecting the service could be a little expensive and all of it. So the first service was 1,200 rupees, which was 10,000 kilometers or 6 months. And then that blew me off. And from there, the entire journey of this car started. And whenever I went to service, the service was very, very minimal. And in Bangalore, there were two service guys. One was Shower Nissan, and then was Surya Nissan. So I bought this car in Shower Nissan. So most of the time I kept my car in Shower Nissan for servicing. Every time I took it for servicing, no complaints, very good servicing. And coming to the performance of the car,
Nissan Micra is a 1.2-liter petrol engine mated with 5-speed gearbox, which produces a maximum power of 75 horsepower at 6,000 rpm and a max torque of 104 Newton meters at 4,000 rpm. There are other features which comes along with this car is power steering, air conditioning, driver airbag, and power windows in all 4 doors.
I'm gonna tell now how the car drives and feels and performs and all of it. This is a fantastic car when it comes to this small segment car, and it has the shortest turning radius ever in any car. So 2.5 turn is the full turn of this car, and you could literally park this car anywhere in the city. Especially when you drive in the city, it's so nice and easy to maneuver the car within the city because of its turning radius that it has, and the power it gives. It's 1.2 liter engine, so the power is also very good. Can immediately zip up to 100, 120 in no time. And the top speed, I've at least done up till 162 on this car. Yes, no surprises, 162 in this car, and it drives amazing. There is a very, very good control on this car, especially when you're driving in highway and all of it. So I'm going to show you clips while I'm talking, and you can see how this car handles and how stable this car is during guard sections, and takes the curves and twisty and windy roads so easily without a problem. It just is a dream when you drive this car. The power steering is very good. You get a very good feedback every time you have your steering on the hands, and then you drive, you turn, there's immediate response from the steering, exactly telling where you want the car to go. The brakings are very good, brilliant braking, and the mileage part of it. So there was one particular time when I was driving during night, and there were 5 people on my car, and we were driving from Bangalore to Mangalore, and it took only 13 liters of fuel from Bangalore to Mangalore. That was unbelievable. That is equivalent to 24 kilometers per liter mileage. Yes, 24 kilometers per liter mileage, and I was stunned to myself. otherwise on an average, whenever I'm on a highway or any roads, I get an average mileage of anything between 17 to 20 depending upon my drive style. And in city I get anything between 13 to 15. Again, that depends on whether you're doing AC drive or non-AC drive. So if you do a non-AC drive, you can expect another kilometer or more when you drive this car. But the overall ownership feeling of this car is so brilliant. I mean, you enjoy the car so much when you drive, and especially if you are a kind of guy who uses a lot of city drive or does a lot of city drive, this is seriously one of the most fun car to drive. And there are times where I have given the run for its money for Toyota Innova in guard section, or could be highway as well, where the car was struggling to overtake me, and that itself made me feel wow about this car. And I've been doing a lot of night drives. When I bought this car, I used to do a lot of night drives, especially coming to my hometown Bangalore. I used to drive from Bangalore almost every alternate week or so, and within the first 6 months I had clocked about 12,000 kilometers when I bought this car. And then after that, the frequency of travel reduced a little bit, but then yes, I've done about 90,000 kilometers on this so far. I just don't see a reason why I should be looking at a replacement of this car. Yes, maybe over a period of time there has been a little wear and tear, especially the suspension. So I just did a servicing about a week back, and then I realized the suspension is weak now, and I need to look at replacing the suspension. But then the kind of driving I do, you'll be surprised how the suspension lasts so long, because I never used to give a damn to any kind of road, especially Bangalore roads earlier, where one of the worst roads you could travel, and the guard section was completely broken. For all you know, today you see the concrete road and you feel it's nice smooth road, you can just rip off and take on that road. But then earlier it was nothing like that. It was complete potholes, mad roads, and even in that condition I used to take about 40 to 45 minutes max to finish off the cart in during those conditions on this particular small car. And this can get into any roads and anyhow. So you have small roads, you can just get into that, squeeze the car in between, and you'll be surprised to see how this car even performs in those conditions. This can just get into any kind of roads and get yourself out from that situation. So that's hats off to Nissan. But I think the biggest problem with Nissan has been is their service center. They're very, very limited service center, especially now in my hometown. They don't have a service center. They used to have one, and now it's moved to Udupi. Don't know why. Maybe haven't sold enough car, so the service center could not self-sustain. So that's probably one of the reasons. The second reason, Nissan didn't do good because they have very, very limited products in the Indian market. So all you could see is a Nissan Micra, Nissan Sunny, and then a Terrano. The Terrano haven't done really much in India, especially because of the competition it got from Duster. And Duster was launched first by Renault. So Duster picked up very well, and Terrano did not. And now the good news is Nissan is coming with another mid-size SUV, which is Magnite, which is called Magnite, and it's due for its launch very, very soon. And that car looks stunning. It looks stunning. I hope and I only pray that car takes off and gives a run for the buck for a Venue, that is Hyundai Venue or the Kia Sonet, if this particular car does good, and hope they bring out with good spec. So the current spec, if I'm not wrong, it's a liter class machine, and I think liter class is the flavor of the year. If you see, most of the guys who have launched cars in that liter class, you have a good number of cars. Especially there was the Stribal by Renault, and then you have Venue by Hyundai, you have Sonet by Kia, and then Nissan would follow the same route, which is Magnite by Nissan. So that's how things have been, and I am absolutely happy by this car. This does excellent drive comfort in highway. You can easily take up 5 people. The only thing that you would feel when you have 5 people in the car is the boot. The boot isn't big enough. There is good enough power. Need not worry about the power across initial pickup to mid-range to linear as well. So there is good power distribution. And AC, I should talk about this especially. I think this has one of the best AC in compared to any class of cars. You take any 40-50 lakh car, or you look at the lowest base 5-6 lakh car, the kind of AC which comes in the Nissan Micra is top class. You can't compare that with any luxury car as well. So I have driven a lot of other cars, and I've seen nobody can match the kind of AC effectiveness or efficiency which this particular car has. And I don't know, I think the way this has been designed and the entire ergonomics of the shell, which makes the chilling so well, or makes the cooling so good, and even the passenger sitting on the back feels the cold. There are sometimes, or certain cars, you only feel the AC effect in the front, and the rear guys or the back seat guys always complain, why don't you increase the blower, we aren't feeling the AC and all of it. But in this car, you will see the guy sitting in the back saying, can you lower the AC, because the efficiency of this AC is so good. And I was blown away by that. That's worth mentioning in this car. And like I said, service is absolutely peanuts compared to all the other manufacturers. And I had one of the biggest expenses when it comes to service. About 4 years or 5 years ago, there was a big massive rain in Bangalore, and I had parked my car right outside the house, and the entire area got flooded with water, and my car was drowned underwater. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures for you to give a reference how the car was. And that is when I had a slightly bigger expense, close to about 80,000 rupees, and out of which certain portion was taken care by insurance. So the car was clogged in with water up till this, so I had to change the entire upholstery of this car, and then the airbag sensor was affected, so I had to replace the airbag sensor. That itself costed me about 23,000 rupees, just the sensor, airbag sensor. And then I had to clean up all the drums. There was a lot of mud and sand in drum. Luckily the water didn't enter the engine, so there was no engine work. The battery was short, so I had to replace the battery. So that was the biggest expense that I had, and that was nothing to do with the car. It was pure natural calamity which happened, and that's why I had to get this car fixed, and that is the only time I probably spent to that level. Otherwise, I must say this is one of the best car. May not be feature filled in terms of having Bluetooth. The new cars do. When I bought this, you don't have stereo control on your steering, so you can't control your music system. All is manual and all of it. Then you don't have a Bluetooth connectivity with your system, so like an infotainment, that's not there. But I can all forgive all of those features when compared to the way this car performs. And I just don't feel like I need to upgrade or move on to another car. Yes, there are sometimes I feel there is shortage of space, especially if you're a family guy and you're traveling with your kids and you have a lot of things to carry and all of it. Maybe that is exactly when is the point you feel, okay, I wish I had slightly bigger car than this, where I could carry a lot of stuff. But then otherwise, I don't feel there would be even a single place where you feel you need more space. This is a superb car, and yeah, this is what I had to say after owning this car for more than 9 years. I hope you guys like this review of mine, and I've been as candid as possible. I'm driving from Coorg to Mangalore now, and the weather is absolutely stunning. It was drizzling a little, but then it stopped now. The entire place was nice, foggy little places here and there, and I just enjoy driving this car every time I'm on the road. I prefer if I'm driving a smaller car, this is the car that I need to pick for that particular drive. So that's it guys for now, And until the next video, stay at home, stay safe. I'm gonna say bye bye for now. I'll continue with my drive. See you guys.